Do high protein diets make you live longer? Hi, I'm Dr. ERIC WESTMAN, and welcome to my channel where I review and debunk nutritional misinformation online. In this video from Tom DeLauer, who is an internet influencer about keto and low-carb diets, who comes to this through the gym or through the fitness world, he's going to talk about recent studies on high-protein diets and longevity.
The primary reason to eat protein for longevity is not just about muscle. It's not just about being stronger. Don't get me wrong, that is arguably the biggest piece of the equation. But when we look at the little nuances of protein consumption, we can start to understand what is happening. And there is brand spanking new research helping us understand one of the most critical ingredients in protein, an amino acid that now, based upon a study published in Science, is really being looked at for longevity.
So already we've gotten into the acceptance that protein is good. Protein is good to support your muscle mass. If you're in a weight loss kind of mode, you're trying to burn your body fat and you want to maintain your muscle mass, then the best evidence is to do some resistance training, meaning to stress your muscle so it rebuilds itself while you're eating protein. Your body will lose the fat because it will burn the fuel. So as you're losing weight, it's not muscle weight you lose, it's fat weight. So on any good low-carb, keto, or weight loss program, that you need protein to support the muscles. Now this is going beyond just the supporting of muscles and getting into the idea that specific amino acids themselves may have special benefits.
Now, people on the internet are talking about when you eat meat, you're getting all these different vitamins, right? You're getting B12, you're getting these B vitamins, you're getting iron, you're getting zinc, you're getting selenium, and trust me, those are important nutrients that we need. And I will go on record and say that yes, like when you eat food in its whole form and you eat protein in its whole form, you get those collectively, and those have a tremendous value to our health span and how strong and how important we feel and how just like overall just how much vitality we have.
And so part of the benefits of a low-carb diet is getting protein from these foods. The other beneficial part of a low-carb diet is not having the junk foods. So cutting out the sugars and the starches. Always remember that there's that combination of effects. It's not only the food that you're getting, but it's the food you're not having that are bad for you that gives you part of the benefits of following a program like what we teach or what Tom DeLauer teaches.
And when I had Dr. Peter Attia on my channel, we went into detail for a while about how protein is more important as you get older. Like as you get older, it's more important to protect yourself, but that's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about a new study that came out that highlighted probably my favorite amino acid, taurine. And it's not just like, well, I could get taurine from any amino, anything. I eat my protein and I get a little taurine here. No, we're talking about getting taurine in its pure form, particularly from dairy, seafood, or meat, or even in a supplement form if you need more. Here's what we found out. Taurine levels decrease by over 80% as we age. Taurine is semi-essential, which means it is needed when we are under stress or when we are sick. When we're older, we get sick more and we are under stress more, so we need more taurine. But what do we do when we get older? We eat less and we eat less protein.
Well, you don't have to, but in general, people eat less as they get older, and in general, people eat less protein, but you don't have to follow those, what most people do. But now we're getting into the idea that because a level of something reduces over time, does adding back that level thing that goes down over time give you the benefit that you used to have? This is one of those questions that I see people using in many different ways, like let's recreate the hormonal situation of youth so that you'll age less fast. This is the bioidentical hormone kind of replacement to see if you can replace levels that you had when you were younger to recreate youth. Well, I don't know that has been adequately studied, although a lot of people are using those hormones to create that situation. So here, just because the taurine level goes down over time doesn't mean replacing it is going to give you the benefits of being young. And you always want to wonder, if you're adding something, what are the side effects of it? Can you have too much of it? That is rarely questioned if it's a vitamin. And yet we know vitamins can cause overdosages if you can't get rid of the vitamins. So we're looking at the association, and giving something back to replace it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good for you.
And a lot of people eat less meat and things that have protein or have taurine in it. So we're in a double bad situation, because in this study, they gave mice, they gave monkeys, and they gave humans taurine. And they found that all of these species had a decline in taurine, even with taurine being consumed. So it's not the fact that we're eating less protein that's making us deficient in taurine. It's adding insult to injury to something that's already happening. Now, what this study found is that taurine was able to increase the lifespan of mice by 10 to 12%. And it was able to increase the lifespan of worms by 10 to 12%. They didn't test humans because you can't make them live forever and you can't monitor that kind of stuff for 100 years.
Well, so careful. Now we're leaping from the animal and the worm to the human, but oh wait, you can't study the human. So I'm pretty human-centric, and I think we need to have studies in people before we say that it's going to be helpful for people. And I know I'm being critical of a low-carb advocate, but that we need to be self-policing our own echo chamber, if you will, so that if something worked to increase longevity, yes, actually a keto diet has been shown to improve the lifespan of mice by about 10%. And here, just giving taurine, I guess, did the same sort of thing. I wonder what the benefit of taurine plus a keto diet would be. And I wonder if this is going to be extrapolatable or generalizable to the human species.
But they also found, and you're going to love this, that it decreased age-related weight gain by 10%. Age-related weight gain is a lot of times associated with poor nutrient sensing, with poor metabolic health, poor mitochondrial function. And here we are thinking protein is key just because it's protein. Protein is great. If you eat a steak, it's going to satiate you. If you eat some protein, it's going to help you build muscle and increase muscle protein synthesis and improve your muscle protein breakdown to synthesis ratio. All these things that are great. It's going to keep you from being frail. It's going to keep, you betcha. But we are overlooking the individual nuanced nutrients and signals that we get from various things. So eating meats or foods that are rich in taurine in a bioavailable form can help us significantly, because when these studies, they look specifically at taurine supplementation. We're talking anywhere from 1,000 milligrams to 6,000 milligrams, 1 to 6 grams per day, having huge, huge benefits.
Now I wonder, and I'll take a look at the article, if this was in the context of a low-carb diet. If it hasn't been tested in the context of a low-carb diet, then I'm not sure that I would make the recommendation, because we know the low-carb or keto diets have benefits in and of itself, with the longevity, for example. So I'd want to know what the incremental benefit of adding taurine would be onto the low-carb diet.
Now, if you talk to people like Dr. Paul Saladino, they really go on about taurine a lot. But even if you have an opinion on him, some of the research that he's been referencing is accurate. It's right. It's like definitely something that we see, that taurine is especially available in more rarer forms of meat, like what I mean by cooked to a little more rare degree. It's sort of the same kind of situation with creatine, right? If you eat enough red meat, you get creatine in. But the evidence suggests that more creatine in isolation is really, really good. So here we have taurine and creatine, two extremely important things for energy metabolism and antioxidant effects and anti-inflammatory effects in our body. And we're decreasing the amount of protein that we're eating as we're aging, when our demand for these things is even more.
So always consider the context. And if you're one of my patients who's trying to lose weight or reverse diabetes or other metabolic problem, I wouldn't listen to this research. It's not the right context, not the right situation. And even then, it's probably not extrapolatable beyond whatever situation they were using it in. But making that leap from this kind of research to then promoting it for a diet or dietary supplement, I think is premature.